How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I want to talk about Hillary Clinton. Aren't you glad we dodged that bullet? I know I am. I know that I'm glad we have Donald Trump in there. You know, a lot of people don't like Trump, but it doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, you can love him or hate him, but everybody would agree, or they should agree at least, if they have a brain in their head, that he is much better than the alternative, which we were presented with, which was one Miss Hillary Rotten Clinton. I'm glad that we dodged that bullet. She has so many things wrong with her. It's really ridiculous. The first thing is the most obvious that we have seen all throughout the election. Is the elephant in the room, so to speak, and that is her physical condition. Now, I understand she's 70 years old, just had a birthday. I understand that, and I understand once a person gets older, they may not be in tip-top shape like they were when they were very young, as a spry, young, eager person. But Hillary Clinton has serious health issues, and everybody knows it.
Too much to say.
You see the picture on the screen before you. This is not a fake picture. This is real. This is right outside of her daughter's apartment, and these are crutches. Apparently, the story goes, and you know, when I'm talking about Hillary Clinton and these stories that her camp puts out, who knows what's true and who knows what's false, but I digress. The story was that she was on a book tour. It may have been overseas, may have been domestic, but she had an accident when she fell and fractured her foot. Now, I've heard that story. I also heard that she was running downstairs in heels. Now, why would a 70-year-old woman be running downstairs in heels? That does not make any sense, but whatever the case may be, you see these crutches. Now, these are not just regular crutches like you would see somebody with the pads under the arm or whatever. These look like somebody that's disabled. Like they have a disability and this is what they need to walk around every day. Now, I'm not mocking anybody with disabilities, but what's really going on? Is it because of an injury or is it because of a disability that she has developed? What's really going on? I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I don't think it would be a good thing to have a president in the office that has had multiple incidents like this, because as we all know, this ain't the first time she fell. Remember back during the 9/11 memorial where she just fell completely over. She couldn't even walk 2 to 3 feet to get into a van that was waiting for her right on the side of the curb. She was on the curb. She had Secret Service with her, and they were assisting her basically to stand, and she could not walk forward. They had to drag her forward. And when they drug her forward, she fell completely over like a sack of potatoes. This is not the person that I want to be out in the world representing the USA. She could not even really do basic speaking engagements, campaign stops. So how is she going to be traveling all over the world representing the USA as a president? Obviously, she was not physically fit for office. And getting beyond that, let's look at her incompetence. Totally incompetent. She wrote a book called What Happened. And in that book, she drew more attention to the whole Russiagate kerfuffle, talking about Trump and talking about how he was trying to elicit the services of the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin, Russian quote unquote thugs, all this, that, and the third. But now the spotlight is on her and her team and the whole Democratic Party for colluding with the Russians to try and get Trump out of the election. Think about it for a moment. At this point, we all know about Uranium One, Rosatom, Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS is the firm that Hillary Clinton, the DNC, etc., paid to so-called, air quotes, dig up opposition research on Donald Trump. The problem with that is that they have ties to the Kremlin as well. And on top of that, they were the ones who were responsible for paying a guy named Christopher Hitchens for the so-called Russian dossier. And by the way, that money came from the FBI. So you have James Comey in on it. You have Barack Obama in on it. You have Hillary Clinton in on it. You have the former head of the DNC, W. Washington Schultz. You got people like Donna Brazile, all these people. Now you got the head of the DNC right now, Tom Perez, talking about, oh, well, we didn't do it. My administration didn't do it. Well, of course you didn't do it. You were put into office after Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced out because all the Russia stuff was coming out back then, back during the campaign. It was found out that not only were they colluding with the Russians, they were conspiring against Bernie Sanders to get him out of the race. And when I say they, I mean Hillary and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I was talking about that back in 2015, almost 2 years ago, during the campaign cycle. This has been a slow leak of information that's been coming out for an extended period of time. And if I was Hillary Clinton or anybody in the Democratic Party, DNC, whatever, the writing's on the wall. I have to see it coming. So why would I make a book? Why would I write a book trying to point the finger at Donald Trump about the whole Russia situation when I know I have skeletons in my own closet that have the Russian flag draped all over them? You had this weird journalist who needs to get put into the gulag, by the way, who was captured on video camera throwing Russian flags at Donald Trump, talking about he's a traitor, all this, that, and the third. He should have thrown them at Hillary, at Bill, at Obama, at Comey, at everybody on the left and some on the right that were conspiring against Trump and were trying to collude with the Russians. This is not just conjecture. We have all kind of evidence for this. The biggest thing was the Uranium One deal that was covered in the Hillary's America movie and also in Clinton Cash documentaries. So we know what's going on with that. Hillary Clinton was complicit in assisting Vladimir Putin and Russia to get 20% of our uranium reserves here in the USA. It's so many things going on between Hillary, Russia, so much corruption, you know, the email server in her house. I mean, people in her camp, John Podesta with the whole spirit cooking thing. It's so much dirt that you're digging up now. It's really ridiculous. And then with the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, Harvey Weinstein was a big time donator to the Democratic Party, a friend of not only Hillary, also Bill and Barack and Michelle Obama. Big friend, big donor. And it came out that Hillary wasn't going to give back the money that Harvey Weinstein donated to her. Of course not. And then there was a story that came out that said that she would give like 20% of the money to charity. I doubt that money would go to charity. And if it does go to charity, it probably goes to the Clinton Crown Foundation, right? So they basically get the money to themselves, put it right back in their own pocket like how they do with everything else. Just like how they do with Slick Willie. He's getting 500 grand to do speeches in Russia. Now the money could get straight into his pocket. They can just be giving them a brown envelope with cash in it, or they could just give him a, air quotes, charitable donation to the Clinton Crown Foundation. That's how that works. At the end of the day, the money all goes into the same place. And then beyond what she's been doing recently, beyond her failing health, let's look at her past. We all remember the super predators comment.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows she was talking about young black gangbangers. Then she want to talk about how Trump is a racist, a sexist, a misogynist, colluding with the Russians. You know, there's a lot of projection going on. If you want to call young black men super predators, as she said it, and then accuse Trump of racism when there's never been any allegation of that before, you never heard Trump on or off the record using any kind of racial slurs against blacks or against anybody else. And if you have any evidence of him doing that, please link it to me in the comments below. But you got all kind of stuff in Hillary Clinton's closet and Bill Clinton's closet as well. And you got to talk about Bill when you're talking about Hillary. I mean, how could you not? They're married. And a prime example of why that matters is the whole situation that happened on the tarmac when Loretta Lynch's plane was in Phoenix, Arizona. And then Bill Clinton came out and ambushed her on the plane for 30 minutes and had a closed door conversation to talk about Hillary Clinton's investigation. Mind you, at the time, Loretta Lynch was the head of the DOJ, right? She was the head of the DOJ, and the DOJ and the FBI were investigating her. So that matters. When you have the former president, he could do whatever he wants to do. If that was just a regular Joe, like, think about it. If it was Ivanka Trump trying to board the plane and talk to Loretta Lynch for a half hour, would that happen? Of course not. But Bill Clinton, who's going to tell Bill Clinton, no, you can't go on the plane and talk to the Attorney General of the United States of America for 30 minutes behind closed doors without security there? How is that going to happen? It's not going to happen. See, when you have a former president, you have power like that. And then when you are so ingrained and entrenched into the swamp, you could do pretty much whatever you want to do. The Clintons are a crime cabal. And then beyond her incompetence, you know, drawing all kind of heat towards herself over the whole Russia kerfuffle when she has all kind of Russian demons in her own closet, beyond her failing physical health, whether it's Parkinson's, whether it's something else, some kind of autoimmune disease, I don't know, whatever it is, beyond the whole FBI kerfuffle, beyond all the pay for play kickbacks and all of that, what about her choice of friends? Let's look at Huma Abedin, right? That was her road dog, her right-hand man, so to speak. Huma Abedin is married to a pervert and Anthony Weiner, and she's sending emails from her private email server that are directly related to public safety of the U.S., of national security, and the emails wind up on Anthony Weiner's computer. And you know that if you're married to Anthony Weiner, you cannot have anything go to his computer because it's going to become compromised. Imagine where this guy's going on the internet. Probably going to the most seedy websites. I mean, you got all kind of risks for his computer being compromised. So you're talking about this guy visiting illicit websites, getting this information stolen, and then when someone gets access to his computer, you got, you know, international secrets and stuff. I mean, come on. That is totally irrational behavior. You got a bad choice in friends. You got failing health. You're a corrupt person. Pay for play. I'm glad we dodged that bullet. So what do you think? Do you think that America would have been better off with Hillary Clinton as a president? Now, if that's your assertion, then like, I don't know how you make that case. Look at all of what she's been accused of doing, what she has been proven to have been doing outside of the presidency. Can you imagine if she was to get in there and then begin to do certain things, begin to make certain things happen, begin to, you know, make the swamp operate the way she wants it to operate? Can you imagine the corruption, the level of totally just insidious behavior that would be going on? Do you think that we are better off with Trump as a president? Now, I do. You know, some people don't like Trump because of the way he talks. He's brash. They want him to stop tweeting. They want him to stop feuding with certain people. But at the end of the day, I say nobody is perfect. You're not going to agree with everything that a person does. But at the end of the day, you got to look at the pros and cons. OK, is what this person doing going to help or hurt my cause? I think it's going to help the cause of the U.S. I don't see how it would hurt, because at the end of the day, Trump understands what's going on with the country. Trump understands that we need to move beyond the corruption that the Clinton Crown Foundation have aided in ingraining into our society. And it ain't just the Clinton Crown Foundation. Of course, it's, you know, the Bushes, Obama, you know, the deep state, if you will. Trump's not perfect, but he's far beyond one Miss Hillary Rotten Clinton. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.